Hello guys and welcome back to Dylan's Little Hobbies, and in today's video I am going to be talking about, well, it's part of the Troll Hunter franchise. I am actually going to be talking about the Troll Hunter spin-off show known as Wizards. Now, I know Merlin is a wizard, but other than Merlin, I had no idea what this was going to go into. I knew that Jim was going to be a part of it, and I was really interested in finding out what happened after the original Troll Hunters. I wanted to know Jim's adventures. We saw, we got to see what Toby was up to in Three Below, along with Steve and everyone else. But I want to know what Claire, Blinky, and of course Jim was doing along with Merlin the entire time. I had no idea that this was actually going to be about a character that I actually didn't like in season 3. Like, I thought this character, who was named Ducey, I thought this guy was literally just there to play up the trope that Jim is jealous, which, granted, that's basically what it was to begin with. I figured it was just a trope where Jim is jealous that Claire is looking at another guy. Another guy might be kind of flirting with Claire. Jim is jealous. Ha ha ha. Move on. Like, I had no interest in this guy who apparently plays guitar. I had no interest in this character called Ducey. But then at the end of Three Below, a cat shows up that talks and wears glasses. He wears glasses because he can't see very well, so that explains the glasses thing. He shows up and he says, "Come with me to save the world." Again, and they're all like freaking out, and then I was wondering what that was going to be about too. We get both of those things played out in this Wizards series, and it's just this is a really short series. It's only 10 episodes, where most of them were actually 13 episodes and at least multiple seasons long. This was only one season, but I can tell you what. I can't put it above Three Below because of how much I fell in love with those specific characters. But I actually really enjoyed Ducey. I enjoyed the cat too, who isn't a cat. He's actually a dragon. A dragon that turned into a cat. He's a familiar. That was fun, and we actually get to learn and meet the dragon's dad as well. That's great. That was great, especially with the dad being, you think you're gonna get this big, evil, mean, monstrous dragon, and it's a dad. It's a dragon dad. It's a nice dragon dad. I thought that was great, but no, this is really about Ducey, and Deuce. Yeah, he was once upon a time a student of none other than Merlin. And at first, he was just sweeping floors and really couldn't do much else. Now, fast forward 700 years later, and he's still sweeping floors at the shop, trying to keep in hiding, trying to give way to the day where he will be useful again to his master, to the day where he will finally be able to get a staff of his own and call himself a full-grown wizard. That is his goal. And yeah, everything kind of falls apart from there. I actually, what's really interesting is I did not care much for Merlin from season 1. I thought he was just a grumpy old man. I was expecting a little bit more. Like, I liked him, but I didn't care much for him. But in this season, in this series, Merlin gets fleshed out so much more, and he's just you can really see with the way he treats Deuce and everyone else that he's really just wanting to look out for them in the best way that he knows how. You know, now of course in the beginning, Ducey doesn't see it that way. Ducey thinks he's just being told no all the time. Instead, he doesn't realize that Merlin is trying to teach him, and by the end of the show, he really does learn about that. Another thing that they actually do with this season, this I'm calling it season, it's a series, but another thing that they do with this is really, really interesting. They go back in time, back 600 years into the past, 700 years, give or take, back into the past. And we get to hear the story of Merlin. Not just Merlin, but of one character in particular that I thought I would have no interest in hearing the backstory of. We get to hear actually what is going on with none other than Morgana. And I loved what they end up doing with Morgana. So, Morgana, she is indeed the brother to King Arthur, and she is, of course, a witch with shadow magic. King Arthur doesn't like magic, and he doesn't like trolls. So, of course, when he sees Jim, because Jim is still in his troll form, he thinks Jim is evil. Oh, Jim also got stabbed by an evil knight, which turns out to actually be the reincarnation. He came back to life. I'm gonna call them like wizard gods. I can't remember the name of them, but they brought back Arthur. And it was a really interesting take because you heard how many stories of King Arthur being this great king, being this great good guy, and in this, to be honest with you, Arthur doesn't. He's not actually a good guy. He's not a hero. He's actually just a human being who made mistakes, and those mistakes is what led to his adventures, basically. I really liked what they did with King Arthur in this. It's really interesting. I never would have thought that. And the same thing with Merlin. You think you are going to get this wise old mentor. Instead, he's just human. You know? I really like that. I really like what they did with Merlin in this as well. And Merlin is just trying to look out for his friends, for his family, for his students, the best way he knows how. He could be a little less grumpy about it, but it's Merlin. I really like that. I really like that, actually, how this whole thing ended up being. Now, there is so much more I could get into with this. We actually get to meet the very first troll hunter, and I'm telling you what, the very first troll hunter is the absolute best character of the show that they brought into Wizards. I really enjoyed that character in particular during this. I can't remember her name, but let's just look it up here. First troll hunter was Dea. Dea was such a fantastic character in the beginning of Troll Hunters. She was, she really, she was kind of an outcast among Troll Hunters, much like, much like how Jim was an outcast as a human, and definitely among trolls too, considering he became the first human troll hunter. So I really liked the connection that he had with Dea as well. That was just fantastic, and I'm not really going much in depth within the story of Wizards, and the reason why is because I want you guys to go experience this. I just want you guys to get interested in this. Now, what I plan to do is I plan to do a separate review, a separate video talking to my friends on a live stream talking about both Three Below and Wizards. And I cannot wait for that live stream. That's going to be so much fun. Let me know down in the comments below, what did you think about Wizards? I could go much more in depth. The reason why I won't is because I just don't want to spoil anything for you. I don't want to take away how great of a series this was. In fact, I would say, while I love Three Below, and while I really enjoyed Troll Hunters, this might actually have been the best property that they put out, was a Troll Hunters Wizards. You know, the Wizard season, the Wizard series of the Troll Hunter franchise was just so good because it gives so many fantastic backstories, and it makes characters that you think are the bad guys, it gives them so much more context. Like, something that I actually thought I was never going to end up liking was Gunmar. And Gunmar is kind of the hero. Like, I almost want to take Gunmar's side in this. They did a very good job at making you look at what you think of the story of Troll Hunters, and turned it right on its head, making you think, huh, this is how it ended? That's sad. Knowing what adventures could have been, knowing what could have been, knowing that it could have gone so many different ways. I really enjoyed Wizards for that. Let me know again your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. I absolutely love Wizards. And now it's time to watch the movie. Thank you guys for watching, and I am out. Bye.